large-scale diversion of funds, similarly, circular transactions of funds between related parties, fraudulent preferential allotments of shares, and all this aided and abetted by planted independent directors and rubber stamp audit committees, which can conveniently turn a Nelson's eye to such misconduct. The management of certain companies has sometimes been seen to preside over corporate breaches or fraud. Different situations require different kinds of intervention. Such interventions need to be suitably curated to the peculiar facts of the case. For violations of law, quasi-judicial authorities may restrain executive functionaries from accessing the market. I would like to share some real-world examples of corporate wrongdoing. So there was a listed company which recorded fictitious sales and purchases by round-tripping its funds between related parties, diverted its funds, and its desperate quest to seem legitimate even presented fabricated bank statements to SEBI's investigation team. They were listed companies originally supposed to providing software or shipping services, which morphed into entities trading heavily in agriculture commodities to defraud the GST authorities, since agriculture commodities were tax exempt. I was also fortunate enough to witness a spectacle of companies recording nil revenues for decades and suddenly bringing out a flurry of corporate announcements regarding their order books, leading to their market cap going through the roof. In a different flavor, SEBI promptly stepped into a case where the CEO of a REIT had to step down on the ground that he was not fit and proper for the position in view of having been found guilty by National Financial Reporting Authority or NAFRA for professional misconduct. Not surprisingly, the economic impact of some of the orders I have passed are huge. 3 of my recent orders were meant to preserve a cumulative investor wealth of approximately 22,000 crores, which is something that I consider as a matter of immense professional satisfaction. I'm also sure that all of these guys are going to appeal the orders in SAT also, saying that they are right, no wrong can be done by them. Quasi-judicial decisions have far-reaching impact not only upon the parties to the proceedings but also on the wider market. Feedback received in respect of orders reveal the scope of their impact. In terms of intended regulatory impact, some orders serve as signals to remind market participants of their obligations or fiduciary duties. Some others are meant to deter serious misconduct, and all orders are expected to alert investors. Investors, especially in bullish markets, have to remember that बहती गंगा में हाथ धोने के चक्कर में कोई हाथ से गलती उतार के न ले जाए, हाथ न उतार के ले जाए. So quick and correct decisions in line with the objects of law are impactful. They have a domino effect in respect of regulatory action by other regulators. They can also invigorate corporate governance processes within companies and go a long way in instilling trust of investors in the market. The rapid increase in the demat numbers from 2.6 crore in financial year 17 to the current 11.5 speaks volumes about the penetration of the securities market. Issuance of quasi-judicial orders in furtherance of the object of protection of interest of investors is indeed a fulfilling feeling and probably one of the most noble deeds in my 40 years service of a 40-year career in public service. I strongly believe that the profit as a measure of value added to an economy is more than mere numbers on the bottom line, where all persons in the regulatory ecosystem understand the importance of complying with the principles of true and fair disclosures, accountability, risk containment within acceptable limits, and balancing all stakeholder interests, the cost of regulation will come down and conscionable profits will go up. This mindful and deliberate long-termism can prevent market failures such as bubbles, overheating, lax processes, and even fraud. The regulatory regime should be considered a stakeholder in the market's ecosystem instead of an enforcer of compliance or harbinger of costs. My personal position has always been that a regulator is a frenemy of the market, tilting more towards the friend end of the friend-foe spectrum. I feel it's high time for the market participants, especially systemically important ones like the MIIs, merchant bankers, management responsible for corporate governance, statutory auditors, compliance officers, and lawyers, internalize the view that every stakeholder has a responsibility to ensure that markets function in an orderly manner. A principle-based, self-regulated securities market driven by a collaborative effort of all market participants with minimal transaction costs of regulation is every regulator's dream. The ultimate objective remains that the relationship between the regulator and the market participants and between companies and their investors should be symbiotic and long-term rather than transactional. The regulators will continue to step in where profits as an end, I repeat, will step in where profits as an end start justifying unlawful means. That being so, in the end, my message to this esteemed gathering would be SEBI has the adequate tools at its disposal to unearth corporate misconduct. Social media and AI and GPT, you name it, have also made so much difference and have lent teeth to SEBI's regulatory and investigatory mechanisms. The era of widespread digital footprints has made it easier for us to collaborate the facts and counter the narrative of the offenders, thereby leading the regulator to undeniable evidence. I'd also like to touch upon Amrita Saini's ending bit. You talked about mental health was very important. Guys, work less. You need to sleep your 8 hours. I know lawyers work very hard. The team in SEBI also, the team of lawyers there also work very, very hard. But it's possible to get your 8 hours sleep and have some fun. To end, do listen to a song called My Way. It's by Frank Sinatra, and he calls it his anthem. And yeah, do it your way, do it well. Wish you all the very best and Jai. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashwini sir, for giving your insights to all of us. May I please request you to come back on the stage once again because we want to felicitate you with the planter that we have. May I please welcome Mr. Sakar Yadav, who is the founder and CMD of one of our partners. Yes, it's none other than, may I have a huge round of applause for LexLedges.ai. Please welcome Mr. Sakar Yadav. And thank you so much, sir, for giving us such motivational lines in the end. That my way, that's a song, because if I talk about myself, I always say it's my way or the highway. And I think so many women out here always follow this path in life, right? Yes or no? Alright, I was taking some acting classes and my coach used to ask me like every time, yes or no. So that's became my habit now to ask everyone to make it a bit more interactive. Thank you so much, Ashwini sir. Thank you so much, Sakar, for coming here to felicitate Mr. Ashwini. And now, before we move forward, as sir said, that work less. because it's very important for our mental health. And playing games also is very important for our mental health. So before we move forward to the first panel, let me tell you that we're going to make these sessions even more interesting, because at the end of every session, or we can say at the starting of every panel, we are going to play housey with all of you. I know we've all got your tickets on your round tables. Everyone has got that. You can raise your hands if you have that already. Yes? Okay, thank you so much, Amrita. So let me tell you the rules also. There is first line, second line, and the third line. So tickets are already there with you. I'm going to announce two numbers at the start. Before we start the first panel, second panel, till the 10th panel we move on to. And you just have to cut it down. You all know how to play housey, right? You've all played it with your friends and women in the kitty parties and all. How many of you have attended kitty parties? Rupa? Never? Acha. मैंने भी कभी नहीं किया है. But then yes, I think to make it a bit engaging, it's very important to give our minds a brainstorming. So just fill in your numbers. I'm going to give you first two numbers, and then you can just start playing with us. Any one of you who has completed the first line, then the second line, then the third line, and the household. We are only having the 4 scenes in this. One by one, they can come to me, and we can announce the winner after that. Alright, rules are clear. It's the mola only. We have all played that, right? Okay. How many of you are Marathis here, by the way? You can raise your hands, eh? Marathis? Gujaratis? Okay. And anyone could relate to me Punjabi, apart from Bhatia sir? Okay. Only one? No, 2. Okay. A very warm welcome. All of you, the Marathis, the Gujaratis, all the Mumbaikars. You all are Mumbaikars, na? Acha, you are South Indians? Yeah, I love South Indian people. Well, how many of you are South Indian? You've come from South to here. Oh wow. Amrita is one of them. Okay, we're not going to ask you come and sing a song, but apart from, I know, lawyers are very innovative people, very creative. They can stand by and argue for hours without having a tension on their head. And we can't see that. They are the best speakers in this whole world. So huge round of applause for all of you. But then how many of you are good singers, if I may ask? You can all raise your hands, because as I told you that I'm not going to call you all and ask you to sing a song. Good singers? ये तो hobby में आता है ना? I could hear something. You're a good singer?
He is a good singer.
Who? Who he?
Manik.
Manik? Okay. Can we just clap for Manik? He's a very good singer. At the end of the day, I would be calling you to sing a song then. Thank you so much. So before I announce the 2 numbers for all of you, let me tell you the first panel that we are going to have. It's the future picture, Indian legal outlook for 2030, the next 5 years as we move forward. As we look ahead, what does the next 5 years hold for India's legal landscape? This session brings together top legal leaders to discuss emerging challenges and the opportunities as well. So may I have the honor to invite the moderator of this session, first of all on the dais, Ms. Srishti Ojha, Managing Partner, Verist Law. May I please welcome Ms. Srishti Ojha. Very huge round of applause. Welcome, ma'am. And of course, our esteemed panelists are there, Mr. Deepak Acharya, Group General Counsel, Aditya Birla Group. May I have the honor to invite you on the dais. Please welcome Mr. Deepak Acharya. Mr. Bharadwaj Pandya, who is the Vice President, Group Legal Head, All Cargo. Mr. Bharadwaj Pandya, please welcome. Can I please request you all to kindly welcome them with a round of applause as they come on the dais. It is always a give and take opportunity for all of us. Well, applause should be higher for Mr. Sachin Mishra, Head Legal and Company Secretary, Tata Consulting Engineers Limited. Please welcome. Thank you so much. Well, we have Mr. Pranav Gupta, Group Legal Counsel, Geo Financial Services. May I have the honor to invite Mr. Pranav Gupta on the dais. We have Mr. Amit Bhasin, General Counsel, Marico. May I take the honor to invite Mr. Amit Bhasin as well to join in for the conversation. And to all of you, I would request you all to kindly put all the knowledge that you are gathering, all the information that you are getting from the panels as hashtag ET Legal Convention on your social media handles. Thank you so much. Before we start, I'll announce 2 numbers that are there. Just a moment. Alright, the first number is 7171 and the other number is 1515. I'll repeat, 7171 and 1550. Thank you. Stage is all yours.
Hello. Hello. Is it working? Welcome everyone. I am Srishti. I am moderating, and it is my privilege to be part of this panel. And for your benefit, this is a highly seasoned set of lawyers, and therefore we should maybe listen very keenly to what we have to say. Um, the broad topic of the discussion is future looking, forward looking, and I will leave the stage open right now by asking direct questions because the panel is very distinguished and I have young associates from my team as well. I do not want to take up any more time in introductions, generalities, and talking about anything trivial. What are the two trends which each of you see coming alive in the next 5 to 7 years? My request is to take up 2 minutes each and then we will delve deep into legal tech. And in legal tech, we will specifically talk about personal use cases. We will talk about potential skill set disruption. And the conversation will likely tend towards AI because that is the mood of the moment. And with this, I retain my silence and I will pass on the floor to Mr. Deepak.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I just want to start where our narrator was completing the earlier stage, asked you a few questions. She asked you, are you a South Indian or how many of you are masters and so on and so forth. I thought she will end by asking all of us, are you all Indian or not? And I think there is no doubt in my mind, we are all Indians. Right? So that should be the first thing that we should think about when we come to any public forum in terms of making sure that we are all Indians before we are customers or something. With that quick clarification, I will start with 2 trends that I see personally, which is we will see in 2030, time running up to 2030. See, a lot of people say that there will be lots of job lost for lawyers in the event of AI coming in. And to some extent, I think it's true that there will be. But the way I would like to put it is that it will not be the lot of legal jobs will be lost, but it will be legal lawyers who know AI will gain many more jobs than legal lawyers who don't know AI. Because AI is artificial intelligence is going to gain a lot of pace from now on. As the generative AI is a real game changer. A lot of people were sitting on the fence until now. I don't think now people can sit in the legal profession on the fence. You will see law firms in medium and big law firms and small law firms getting into this. So I think that's a big change that we will see. However, what we will not see a change in is leadership skills that are needed. That's so huge impact. That is not going to change. So these are the 2 observations that I make.
Thank you. A very interesting input is coming from Mr. Acharya, who is heading a large conglomerate. This is not a startup talking about AI and important for everyone here to note. Maybe Mr. Panda, 1 or 2 trends for a couple of minutes on what you expect to see.
Yeah, I think there's a common theme here. Because when you mentioned AI, I think everyone will hear a lot about AI today. And it is important to know that AI is not perfect. There are hallucinations that people goes through, the type of data that is fed into the AI to all these things are very relevant to understand how AI is going to impact all of us. itself is very important. Because we have instances, for example, where AI has been used in routing meetings. This happened in New York. And the meetings were so convincing that the order came in favor of the person who used AI to make those meetings. And when the order came in his favor, he was very happy, but a few months later it was overturned and the person was reprimanded for his actions. So I think the way AI is going to be used is also very important. On the human aspect of it, I think there's going to be a need to, of course, management skills will not change. But the way in which the departments will work around navigating AI and technology, and at the same time not feeling lesser about themselves, I think that's going to be an important facet, because there are many things that we currently do, but then AI will do. So there's going to be a lot of upskilling on getting people to navigate a world with AI. I think that is something where currently also in all legal department there's a lot of insecurity around the implications of AI. So I think it's going to be a challenging next 5 years around these two aspects, and that coupled with the fact, just the last point, that coupled with the fact that Indian MNCs have a global footprint. They have even more complex tasks at hand, because it's not only about usage of AI within our country, but the way in which laws are being moved and drafted in Europe and the US. We are talking about DPDP here, we are getting skill sets to get people to know DPDP. But in European markets, there are talks of drafting laws around governing ownership of data that gets generated from sensors. So it's going to reach a whole new level, and I think the law that we were all taught in college, I think that's already outdated, I guess. I think we'll have to get some skill sets. How, I don't know, but it's going to be a challenge.
When to use AI, how to use it, scaling in AI, and potential future laws around AI. Themes we get. Thank you. Mr. Gupta, a couple of